Blu-rays. Tiny little optical discs that go inside light blue plastic cases. What is a Blu-ray? In its essence, truly, perhaps it is a means of storing memories and emotions, little moments in your life that you can relive with friends and family. Or perhaps I am deeply overanalyzing a stupid little thing that I like to do. Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be going through my Blu-ray collection again. We're going to be doing the Blu-ray collection of 2022. I did one of these last year, just at the end of the year, where I went through all my Blu-rays, and I have quite a few more now, as I'm sure you could see. We got all of these ones, and we have all of these other ones, and we have a whole lot more of these ones over here, and we've got about 4 more stacks of that. So this is going to be a bit of a longer video, but we're excited. Do stay tuned.
Zang Films.
Subscribe. Up first, we have one that has a very interesting story behind it. The Watchmen Director's Cut. First, you can see it's got that cool little 3D cover on it. But the thing about this particular Blu-ray for me is that when I first got it, I received it as a gift from my brother who bought it at a thrift store. Now, when my brother bought this at a thrift store, he did not actually open the package because it was already opened. And this wasn't in it. It was simply empty with nothing but the features and the digital copy disc. This disc right here, we had to purchase separately. This case, which is much cheaper, a lot flimsier, but it had the actual movie in it. So I simply took it out of here, put it in here, and put it in here. And that's how I ended up with my Blu-ray for the Watchmen Director's Cut. Bit of a long story behind that one. Next up we have Kick-Ass 2. I love Kick-Ass. I love the first movie. It's really funny. It's really great. It's probably one of my favorite superhero movies. 3 assholes laying it on one guy while everybody else just watches, and you think I'm crazy? Yeah, I'd rather die. I love that first movie, and this one is okay. It's an entertaining sequel. It's about all I can say about it. I don't have the original yet, but I would like to. Super Pets. I watched this movie on a date. It was very fun. It was cute, very funny. I thought it was actually a lot better than I expected to be, if I'm being honest with you. I was kind of just expecting a random, kind of not all that interesting movie, but it was actually kind of cool. Bat Dog was pretty cool. I wish to see more of him, and I also really wish that this movie had more Batman in it, but it is what it is. Shazam. This is an absolutely fantastic, incredible DC movie. I've went through it in the last video, but it's just a really great, heartwarming story that really balances out from all the darkness of the other DC movies. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie is, again, really great, underrated. This is the Ultimate Edition, which is by far the best version of the movie to watch. I do not recommend the theatrical edition. I definitely recommend the Ultimate Edition. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour masterpiece Justice League film. I absolutely love this movie. So right now I only have this movie and BVS. I still don't have Man of Steel yet, but once I do, I will have completed the Zack Snyder trilogy, which would be pretty epic. The Batman. This is a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, and this is an absolutely gorgeous case. The front obviously has the Batman with this little question mark on it, and the back has something similar. This movie is really great, and this case is really, really cool. This has the Blu-ray, the 4K, and the special features, which I always love special features. I hate when I buy a Blu-ray and it doesn't have the special features with it. It's like, that's part of the fun of it to me, is just being able to pop that in and watch it whenever I'm doing something random. Maybe I'm doing chores or whatever, and I can just watch the special features of Interstellar. But this movie's really great. Again, there's an entire video about it up on the channel, very recent video, so I highly recommend watching that if you want more of my thoughts on that movie. One of the first few Blu-rays I bought, and also one of the first collection sets I bought, well, the first collection set I bought, the Batman motion picture anthology from 1989 to 1997. This has Tim Burton's Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin, all of which are really great movies. I actually recently rewatched Batman and Robin, and it's not as bad as people think. It's certainly not good. It's not good, but it is a fun movie to watch. As someone who just enjoys watching these kind of crappy B movies, I find that movie really entertaining at times. Now, finishing off the DC collection and moving into another collection, we have the Dark Knight Trilogy Special Edition. These movies are incredible. They're fantastic. To this day, my favorite superhero movie is Batman Begins, and these are just the best. These are the best. There's really no better way to describe it. They're freaking awesome. I'm really hoping this year to make a big like analysis video of all three movies, a big like retrospective review of the entire trilogy all at once, just going through everything, all of the themes, all the story, every little reference, just all of the stuff. I really want to deep dive into these movies really soon. Tenet. This movie is really great. Another great Nolan film that I really appreciate and I really love. I remember this is the first Nolan film I saw in theaters, and it's just a really entertaining movie. A bit confusing at first if you're not really like paying attention, but it's not too bad. The Prestige. This is another Nolan film. I love it. This whole story about these two men going at each other is really, really interesting. It's interesting the way it sort of switches perspectives all the time, and you can kind of follow both of them and kind of slowly figure out what's going on. It's very interesting, but still leaves you asking some questions at the end, which is par for the course with a Nolan film, I think. Next up, my number one absolute favorite movie of all time, Inception. There's not much more I could say about this that I haven't already said, but there is so much to be said about this movie that I haven't said yet. I really want to look at this again and really go into it more. In my opinion, it is a flawless film. Insomnia, one of the earlier Nolan films. This is really great too. This is a very like psychological thriller type dark movie that stars Robin Williams as the villain for some reason. It's very interesting. I definitely recommend Insomnia. Dunkirk. This movie is incredible. I do not recommend watching this on any means except for like the largest screen possible and the highest quality speakers possible in a very dark room. Like you really need to like feel this movie in order to fully appreciate what it is, because it is absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. Speaking of masterpieces, Interstellar. I can't get over this movie. I really can't. Like anytime I ever see it, it's just so incredible. It's such a beautiful, beautiful film, beautiful story, beautiful characters. Everything about this movie is incredible to me. You need to see Interstellar. You really need to see Interstellar. Dune. Dune was really great in my opinion. It really has that like epic grand scale that I think gives it the potential to become one of the really big movie like things that people are really into, just like the MCU was, like Harry Potter was, like Lord of the Rings was, like Star Wars was. I think that this has the potential to be like the next big movie franchise. See, in this world there's only two kinds of people: those with loaded guns and those who dig. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Love this movie. I love Westerns. There's not much else to say about it. This is just really fantastic. Really great movie. The Green Knight. Again, great movie. A24 is a really great company. They've been making a lot of great stuff lately, and I'm very excited to see what else they have going on. Robert Eggers is now working on a new movie, but we'll talk about him a little bit later. Right now, The Green Knight. It's amazing. It's really fun. It's a really exciting story, but it's a lot weirder than you would expect in certain parts. A lot more like intense sometimes, a little bit creepy at times, a little gross on occasion, but it is a really great movie that I definitely recommend you see. If you're interested in fantasy, if you're into like medieval stuff, or if you're into like deeper stories, if you're into like themes and all this stuff, this is a really great movie. I actually, in high school, had to make a comparison essay comparing this movie to the original story. And honestly, I think that this movie is probably a better version of the story than the original version. Because of the changes that they made to the character and making him not a knight yet, it gave it a lot more thematic importance, and it gave it a lot more symbolism, and it let it be a much more important and interesting story. Logan, 4K, Blu-ray, black and white, all of it. I have a story about this one though. So I bought this used on Amazon, and that was a big mistake because when I got it, the case was entirely cracked right down the middle. You can't really see it because of the slipcover that well, but you can see it on the other side. It is just completely like torn down the center. Not very epic. The movie itself is really great. The discs are all perfectly intact. This also comes with these 9 posters, which on one side are from all of the different movies that the character's in, and then on the other side it's one big poster for this movie, which is really cool. I'd like to put it all together and put it up on the wall somewhere. I just don't know quite where I would do that. Logan is a really great movie and a fantastic send-off to a incredible character put on by Hugh Jackman. Mel Gibson in Mad Max. I fucking love this movie. This is one of those like kind of standard revenge movies, but it is really, really cool. It's got a lot of great action, a lot of great excitement stuff going on. It's really weird, some of it is. And I will say that the ending feels a little anticlimactic, but it's a really great movie. I definitely recommend it. You like Huey and Lewis in the News? Their early work was a little too new wave for my taste, but when Sports came out in '83, I think they really came into their own, both commercially and artistically. American Psycho it's a great movie. I love American Psycho. It's one of those movies that you just can't help but be compelled by the character. You just can't help but find him, at the very least, interesting. I love this movie. I really want to get it on Steelbook one day, but this is just a great movie, and what an inspiring guy, you know? Real motivation this character gives me. 7. I haven't actually seen this yet, but I really plan to. I've heard it's a really great movie. The Lighthouse. I don't need to talk about this. There's a pretty long video about it up on the channel as we speak. Death Note. Favorite anime of all time. The entire series is right here, all in one big case. Very epic. I actually, because I talked about in the last video that I like to switch when they have a design on the inside of the case like this, I like to switch it around if I have the slipcover. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that with this one yet, because the outside cover is a little, the outside cover of it is a little bit sus, if that's the word to use, so I might not do that. I might just keep it as is. I'm still not sure yet. I've had this for like a year and I still haven't decided, so probably just gonna keep it as is for now. Akira, I talked about this movie before. Absolutely love it. This is the 4K and the Blu-ray, I hope. Yeah, okay, this is the 4K and the Blu-ray. I was a little worried about that for a second. Shin Godzilla, I've talked about this movie on the channel as well. Fantastic movie, definitely the best Godzilla film since the original. Predator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Great movie, absolutely, like one of the pinnacle 80s action movies. This film is really, really fun. I really love this movie. Sticking with the Arnold Schwarzenegger theme, we have Total Recall. Again, on 4K and Blu-ray. I picked this up from Best Buy recently for like $7. Very epic, very good deal. I haven't seen this movie yet, but I have been recommended it so many times that I felt like I just have to pick it up. So I'm definitely going to check this out very, very soon. Inglourious Bastards. This is another movie that I haven't seen yet. It's apparently one of Quentin Tarantino's best films. I loved Django. This is probably the second best looking steelbook I own, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. The reason I say that is it's actually embedded on the side. You can sort of see it's popping out a little bit. It's got this nice looking rim on there, and then the backside looks really cool as well. I've actually yet to see any of the Mission Impossible movies, but I really want to watch through them in the next coming months. When I do, I want to get all of them on Steelbook just like this one, because I just like when everything matches. But this Steelbook was like $5 at Big Lots, so I kind of just had to get it because I'm like, why the hell would I not? That's an incredible deal for a Steelbook like this. Face Off and Snake Eyes. I saw Face Off recently since the last video was made. I love it. I absolutely love Face Off. That's like one of the like pinnacle, classic, weird as hell 80s action like hero movies with the suit guys and the FBI and all of this really great stuff going together to make this one really, really awesome, fun movie. I love this movie so much. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I saw this recently as well. The Golden Guns from Face Off make an appearance again. Love this movie. Free Guy. I recently received this as a gift on Christmas, which you'll find is actually similar with a lot of these. This movie was really fun. really funny. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. One of the things I like about it is that a lot of movies that are like taking place within video games, like Jumanji, don't really understand video games very well, and a lot of the jokes about video games are pretty outdated. This one does not fall into that category at all. It has a lot of really great jokes about games that like people who play games will actually get and will actually find funny. It's just a really great movie that I definitely recommend. Jacksepticeye makes an appearance, which is pretty cool. Definitely recommend that movie. Speaking of which, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. It's okay. It's a pretty good movie. It's alright. Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Transformers 5 movie collection, all on one. All 5 Transformers movies in one nice little package. That is so cool. This was a gift from my girlfriend for Christmas, and it's just such a great gift to me. I mean, I really do love Michael Bay movies, and I really like some of the Transformers movies, at least the first few, but just having all of them like this in a little case, it's really, really nice, and it just means a lot to me. These movies are really great. This means a lot to me beyond just the movies. The Lego Movie 2, the second part. I haven't seen it yet. I saw the first Lego Movie, but I just picked this up because I wanted to watch it. It was like $2. I'll check it out at some point. It seems funny. It seems entertaining enough. Kind of messed up the order on this a little bit, but that's okay. Bullet Train. This looks like a really, really cool, fun action movie, so I'm very excited to check it out. I said my Mission Impossible Blu-ray is my second best Steelbook. That's because this is my first best Steelbook. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now I know, the 4K of this movie sucks, but because of how great this Steelbook looks, I figured I'd get it. I'll still have the Blu-ray anyway, it'll be fine. This has a slipcover, which I love Steelbooks that have the slipcover now that I've had one, because this looks really cool, and then you slide it out, you get something that looks even cooler underneath. The other side of this looks even cooler than the front side. And there's so much like detail in this design. You have the Terminator face, but then you have John Connor and Sarah Connor's eye in the eyes. You have the big roller death machine that the Terminators have in the future. The backside has a bunch of them too. It's the inside. You actually have Miles Dyson on there. The discs has T1000 and the T800. This is like just the best looking Steelbook I own. This is by far the best looking Blu-ray I have. It's so beautiful. It's such a well crafted, well-designed case, and for such a great, well-crafted and well-designed movie, because Terminator 2 is, to this day, one of, if not the best action movie ever made. Alright, I'm gonna have to go through these a little bit quickly because I have a lot left and I'm still going through them. Top Gun. Haven't seen it yet. I really want to. I have the poster up on my wall because it's just a great movie. I like the idea of it a lot more than I like the movie because I haven't seen the movie yet. Clear and Present Danger, great action movie starring Harrison Ford, one of the classics in my opinion. Finally bought it, Die Hard on 4K and Blu-ray. This is not a Christmas movie. I don't care what you say, it's not a Christmas movie. Taking place at Christmas time does not make it a Christmas movie. Being about Christmas makes it a Christmas movie, and this is not about Christmas. It's about Bruce Willis killing German terrorists. It's a great movie. Absolutely fantastic action film. I really love it. Die Hard 2, same thing I said last year. Great action movie. Not quite as good as the first, but still pretty alright. Men in Black, classic. Love this movie. Men in Black 3, kind of skipping the second one there. It's okay. It's an alright movie. It's definitely not nearly as good as the other ones, but having the original guy come back and sort of like as a mailman was pretty cool, and all of that stuff in the 50s was really, really interesting to watch. I really like that sort of thing. Ambulance. Non-stop mayhem. This movie's really great. I went to see it in the theaters with my buddy. It was a really, really fun film. Ended up yelling at some people because they were talking throughout like the entire thing. That was pretty fun. But, you know, just a great movie. Really love it. No Time to Die. I haven't seen this one just yet because I still want to rewatch all of the Daniel Craig Bond films before I do. But I really love these movies. I love the Daniel Craig films. And I'm really, really excited about this movie, about finally getting to see it now that I actually own it. Over the Hedge. Love it. Monster House. Love it. Childhood classic. Paranorman. Another childhood classic, especially because I grew up in New England. The Polar Express, my single favorite Christmas movie ever made. Miracle on 34th Street. Saw this for the first time recently. Absolutely love it. It's a Christmas classic. Not as good as It's a Wonderful Life, but still really great movie, really uplifting, really gets you into the spirit for Christmas. I actually watched this on Christmas Eve, and it was really, really great. The Back to the Future trilogy. I love Back to the Future. These are some of my favorite movies of all time. Just really, really incredible. Another Christmas gift on the list here, we have the Star Wars original trilogy, Blu-ray, region free. This is really, really cool. I just love these movies, so I'm really excited to be able to rewatch them on this now. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Love this movie, absolutely incredible. I said in the last video, and I'm gonna say it again, movies like this are why movies exist. It's just beautiful, it's uplifting, it's upspiriting, it's such a hopeful, interesting, fun experience of a film. Getting through the last of it here, Zoolander Steelbook, really funny movie. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. The Rich Mahogany Edition. Again, love this movie, really, really great. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. South Park is by far one of my favorite TV shows, definitely my favorite comedy show. Absolutely hysterical movie, really, really cool movie, really love the story of it. Though I will say the story of it is sort of something that they repeat in the show. Kyle's mom gets really upset about Terrence and Phillip, and then they kind of round up all the parents in town, and they all go and attack them, only this takes it to the biggest extreme possible, where it turns into an entire war against Canada, where the Americans are trying to go in and just eradicate all the Canadians, and Satan shows up in the end, Kenny dies, Cartman tells someone to suck their balls, and it's just a really exciting film, really, really fun movie. I love that movie, it's really great. The Bob's Burgers movie. Surprisingly a lot better than I thought it would be. You know, you think with movie adaptations of animated shows, they're probably gonna suck like the Simpsons movie did, but both this movie and the South Park movie are both really, really great. Rango, starring Johnny Depp. Love Johnny Depp. He's epic, he's done nothing wrong ever in his life, and quite frankly, anything good that happens to him, I think he deserves, and anything bad that happens to anyone who treated him poorly, I think they deserve. Really getting through the last of it here, we have my anime movies. My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. Again, this is one of those movies where I flip the slipcover around because it looks really cool. I've talked about this movie on the channel before. I really love this movie, it's really great. My Hero Academia World Hero Mission. I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen it yet because I'm just sort of losing interest in My Hero a little bit lately. I watched the ending of the most recent season, I got that far into it, but I just haven't gotten to seeing this just yet. I'm not that interested at the moment. But I did again flip this over because it looks really cool. The back looks kind of lame, but the front looks pretty dope. My only annoyance with it is that it's a little bit off center, but what are you gonna do? Demon Slayer Mugen Train. I talked about this movie when it first came out. This movie's really great. This whole show's really great. Same thing as the other times. New slipcover on the back. Very cool. This is just a really great movie in my opinion. I really, really love this movie. I love the show. It's really fantastic. Last but not least, we have Bohemian Rhapsody. Queen is one of my favorite bands. Freddie Mercury is one of the best musicians ever to live. This movie really encapsulates what he was like and what his whole thing was all about really well. There's some certain factual inaccuracies, but I think that it tells the story a little bit better, and it makes him, it really shows him how he was. And he even said himself before he died, do whatever you want with my music, just never make me boring. And I think that's what they did with this movie, is they kind of shifted some things around to make it a little bit more interesting and make it a little bit better of actual like a cinematic story. But either way, Freddie Mercury was really, really phenomenal person, and this movie was really, really phenomenal.
Zeng Films.
Subscribe.
So odds are it's going to be 2023 by the time this video comes out, and I just want to say thank you all for like sticking with the channel for the past 2 years. It's been pretty interesting starting this whole thing and trying to like make it into something, and I'd like to think that my videos have at least gotten better over the years, and that the quality of them is going to continue to increase. I'm very excited about the future. I have a lot of big things planned, a lot of big ideas. We're looking forward to it, but for right now, don't skip out on your resolutions, and have a happy new year. Oh, thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, maybe, and subscribe. I gotta put these away somewhere. Have a nice day. Crap.